Welcome to another video from Rennie Foresights. Alright, today I'm going to talk about why we would have Metaverse. What is the Metaverse? Also, what's the purpose of that? So just a summary to start with of what a Metaverse is before I start digging into the smaller pieces of how that looks like. Basically, you're taking these aspects of the world that we experience in daily life and you're moving them into a digital environment. So for example, you take the aspect of two people spending time together and then you make that digital. Well, we already have applications of things like that through social media, but what I'm talking about is much more immersive experiences with somebody who's physically not in the same place as you. As for the quick summary of why we would have the Metaverse before we start digging into these pieces, the reason would be that why would we have many of the technologies that we have today? So for example, we took email, we were able to send mail across the world and we waited weeks for that person to receive it. Instead, now we send email or we send an instant message. The Metaverse is just simply a continuation of this evolution into digital technologies and the way that humans express themselves, both through entertainment and through being social creatures. So people like to actually meet together and they like to have fun together. How these activities occur become more and more digitized over time. The first one that I'll cover is VR integration. How would VR impact these technologies that we already have right now? So right now we have a clear understanding that people like to go onto the internet and they sit at a keyboard and they type, and when they type, they talk to each other, or they go onto other various platforms where they use their voice and they talk to each other. The implementation of VR allows a more immersive environment where both you and I can either physically appear as ourselves or a digital recreation of whatever we want to look like. This environment can be an entertainment environment where we literally are just meeting to exercise, we are meeting, watching a movie together. It's two people digitally meeting in a room staring at each other. These things already happen in a two-dimensional world, especially in games. You see two characters standing and they're talking online through online communication. This already happens. By making VR part of this, you're making it so that if two friends are on opposite sides of the world, it's much easier for them to have a more immersive experience together, and it's a logical evolution. The second thing that we'll talk about for these integrations is token integration. So how would tokens take place in this? Tokens are, as I talked about in my token versus coin video, tokens are something that doesn't run on its own blockchain. It's just some sort of digital representation of value that's running on another network's chain. So what can this mean? This can mean that your airline rewards points are now this token. Or it can be various other types of community points, reward points, game points. It's just some accrued value that the market decides what's it worth. It can be worth, the entire thing is worth $100, all of it that people have, or it could be 100 million. It just depends on what it's facilitating. You can buy anything at Walmart using this currency. It probably accrues a lot of value because it may convert 1-to-1 with $1. It all depends on the way that it's designed. What these tokens allow us to do that's very important in the Metaverse is it allows us not only interact with each other, but exchange goods and services and exchange value. This is very important. The third thing that we're going to look at is NFTs. So NFTs, I've talked about in previous videos, are non-fungible tokens. Basically, a lot of people just see them as these online cut and paste JPEGs. But what they are is a digital representation that you own something. And the reason that they're not just cut and pastes of something is if you had an original artist rendition of a painting, if I were to just go to the art museum and start taking pictures of it, it's not worth anything. But the original is worth something. The difference with NFTs is now on a digital environment, I can prove to you that I got this from the original creator. I could actually show you the date in which I got it from the original creator. I could show you that maybe I got it the date after it was originally created and I never bought it from someone else. And this proves that I was paying attention to this from day one, and leads to the credibility that I've been interested in this for a very long time by this proof of date stamp. It can also be items. There's a multi-billion-dollar industry right now around in-game digital items. People literally buy themselves costumes, etc. inside of games. It seems to reason that if a bunch of people are going to use VR to meet in the same place, we generally present ourselves with different clothing. It's a form of expression. People will buy digital NFT clothing to represent themselves in this digital space, to show, oh yes, I have this famous dress. Most of these things that we do kind of not thinking in society, these expensive items that people wear, why does someone wear a Rolex watch instead of wearing a $5 watch? Well, they're doing it because it's how they express themselves, how they feel, they want to look good. These things still happen in a digital environment. It's happened for years and years and years in the game environment. People run around, they want the flaming sword instead of the regular sword. Now, the only thing that's happening is more of the culture is emerging into this space that a lot of people don't understand. People from the gaming community, this is just the same thing that they've known for a very long time. The fourth thing that we're going to talk about is shopping. This one might surprise some people. Right now we have platforms like physical retail store. I walk there and I go buy stuff in the physical store, and then I gotta go home with that stuff. More and more over time, people are starting to purchase stuff online. So they go to Amazon and they order their good and it gets delivered to their house. Over time, this gets faster and faster. So, delivery was a week and now delivery is a day. In some of these cases, you could literally go work, order your good, and when you show up at home, your good is already at home. That's obviously substantially more convenient than going to the store, because if you went to the store, you'd have to actually go somewhere other than just the home. Where this gets really interesting in the Metaverse example is that these digital goods don't necessarily have to be just items that are digital. You could actually do that online shopping inside of the Metaverse in the same store using blockchain platforms that actually allow people to list their goods that they sell in the physical world. And then you could actually have also blockchain implementation that sells these digital goods. So you're buying your flaming sword and also your groceries in the same store using the same interface. Why? It's convenient. Why am I gonna waste time going to the grocery store when in VR I can go to the grocery store without leaving my chair? I can order these things and have them delivered to me by the end of the day. At the same time, I can buy all the other things that my friends are gonna see me wearing, which has proven to be an industry that's growing already through games. Like I said, it's over $1 billion market. Right. And the fifth thing here, I'm gonna call it gaming integration. This is where this kind of normal interaction, shopping experience, all of this gets weirdly intermingled. Because NFTs can exist in different places, like for example, right now when you play a game, you get an item, that game goes out of business, and then you have no game. Over the years, many people saw all these different consoles come out and they're like, yeah, I really liked this game when I was a kid, and now that game's gone. Although it's really great that you could say, oh yeah, when I was a kid, I beat this level in this game. There's not really any way to show people that. By having these NFTs, what it does is it allows relevance to that thing. You can show that achievement, but not only could you show that achievement, a game manufacturer could actually say, yeah, we want you, the guy who won that in that game, to play our game. In order to get you to play our game, we're gonna give you this item in our game, specially to you. The only one that can have it is you, and you, in order to claim it, you have to prove that you have that item that you got from the previous game. That's how you unlock it. Then that aspect also gets mixed in with, like I was saying in the previous part, this digital shopping. So you go with your friend to the store and you're doing this digital shopping where you're buying these digital items and you're buying your groceries at the same time. And hey, look, lo and behold, your pet animal from some pet game is actually walking along next to you. So you have a pet tiger that's part of Tiger Village game, I don't know what you want to call it. You know, some game that's, let's say, similar to Pokemon. Now, instead of having your Pokemon that's just on your little Game Boy, that's what I had as a kid, then you have your Pokemon that everyone else sees in VR that just went shopping with you. You'll be able to have this kind of bringing your game with you to the grocery store experience, which is definitely not applicable right now. That experience will actually not likely just be applied through VR technology, but likely also be applied through AR technology, where you have things that you actually take with you in the physical world, where people would be able to see the physical world and see these things overlaid on top of you. See your statistics, see what you've achieved in the digital world, see your university degree mixed in with you beat the final boss. First one to invest in Apple in 2007, early investor. Yeah. Obviously 2007 is not the exact time frame, but you get my point. You would be able to bring this kind of digital resume with you everywhere you went. All right, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, comment below, tell me how great it was, tell me what else you want to know about the metaverse, and also hit that subscribe button. Love to see you in the next video. Thank you, bye-bye.